I think it's gonna fall over. Alright, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. So I was listening to a video and it made me think. Joe Rogan said something like, people think that strong-minded individuals don't struggle. And he was like, they do struggle, but they just win. And I was like thinking, because yesterday, the dude I rode home with said something along the lines of, man, if I had your discipline, it'd be great. I'd be able to do everything or whatever. And I was like, this guy just think I was fucking born with this discipline where I just decided, I'm gonna just not do these things because I don't want to do them. I think what discipline really is, and the reason a lot of people don't think of it this way, is discipline is like when you watch a UFC fight and you get into a match. Sometimes you win and sometimes you lose. But losers lose and winners win, right? Everybody sees the Conor McGregor fucking win 27 fights in a row or whatever the fuck, and it's like, obviously he's a winner.
Right.
And they see the guy who keeps getting his fucking ass beat, clearly he was the loser.
Okay.
But see, they see strong-minded people who wake up at 4 a.m., go on a fucking run every day, train hard, eat right, don't ever fucking cheat on their diet, have fucking shredded abs year-round, and look crazy. And they think, oh, that guy he's just born differently. Those are just good genetics. Oh, he's just lucky. Because they don't see the fight. Because if you saw the fight every day, right? If you were able to peer into that guy's brain and hear all the crazy shit he says to himself, you'd be like, oh, this guy's in a fight every fucking day. He just wins. And then you'd understand, like, it's not because he's different than you. It's because you're a fucking loser and he's a winner. And until you stop being a fucking loser and you start winning, you'll continue to be you and he'll continue to be him. And then that's where you can also attribute experience to training. Fighters train to become better fighters.
Okay.
Well, if you want to be better at something, you have to train, right? If you want to be more disciplined, you have to train your discipline.
Mm-hmm.
If you give in at the first time your brain pops up the idea of doing something, well, you're never going to get any better. But say you keep trying and now you're giving in on the third time your brain says something. And you keep trying and now it's the fifth. And now you keep trying and now you don't give in. Eventually, you get to the point where you only do something when you want to do. It's not your brain telling you. Your brain thinks, oh, I want a piece of cake. Oh, you give in. No, your brain thinks, oh, I want a piece of cake, and you go, nah, I'm good. But then maybe you're at a party and your brain goes, I want a piece of cake, and you go, you know what? I haven't had a piece of cake in a long time. I guess I will have a piece of cake. But see, people don't look at it that way. They look at it as, oh, that guy he was born that way. Motherfucker, most of the dudes I know that are fucking jacked or shredded were either made fun of because they were too skinny or made fun of because they were too fat. I know very few dudes who looked good in middle school, high school, growing up. I know people who look good in middle school or high school growing up. None of them look any better than they did in high school.
They had no reason to get better.
I know at least 3 dudes who were more jacked than me when I was like 19 years old. At 19, I'd been training for 4 years, almost 5 years. 4 to 5 years I've been training. And I know dudes that genetically just fucking not even working out really, just doing wrestling, not lifting weights seriously or nothing, looked better than I did after 4 or 5 years of actually lifting weights. I know at least 3 or 4 guys that I wrestled with that look like that. Those guys don't look any better now than they did then. One of them is only one of them I know still works out. What's funny is all of them actually still look good, but they don't actually work out. They just look good naturally. One of them still works out, but he's a power lifter and he looks no bigger than he ever did. He's actually a gay cross-dresser now too.
Oh.
Yeah, it's very interesting every time I open up his Instagram page because he, I never knew he was gay. And his dad is like definitely probably not into that. So it's very interesting.
Hmm.
But yeah, he's a power lifter. He looks exactly the same. The other three look literally like they did in high school, but they don't look any better. Because when you're young and you look good, you get praised for looking good. Why would you ever put effort into looking better? You never think, oh, I could look better. Very rarely, maybe 1%, 2% of people do that. Most of the time, it's the people that don't look good that start doing bodybuilding or some other type of where they want to look better, whether it's just any type of aesthetic chasing in the gym. It's either the people that looked like shit and got bullied for it, or sometimes the people who just actually fall in love with the sport. But 99% of people who are, oh, they have such great discipline. They don't have great discipline. They actually have the opposite. They have the worst fucking discipline known to man. And they work their ass off to have good discipline.
Oh.
Most of those people, like most people who are like, yeah, I never eat cake. It's not, oh, I never eat cake because I don't think cake is healthy. It's, no, I don't eat cake because cake is like fucking crack cocaine. If I eat a piece of cake, I'm going to eat the whole cake, and then I'm going to fucking relapse, and I'm going to eat everything, and I'm literally going to look like I'm strung out like a fucking coke addict. And you're going to find me with fucking an entire pack of donuts the next day, and I'm going to be 20 pounds heavier, and you're going to be like, what happened to you? That's that guy that says, oh, I never eat a piece of cake. It's because that guy actually cannot control himself. And you think, oh, he's got great discipline. It's great discipline. No, that motherfucker is a crack addict. You just offered a crack to a crack addict. That's what you just did. Talking about oh, why don't you eat this? And then I hate the way people fucking treat it too, because people literally will do that shit where they're like, they keep forcing it on you like it's normal to be a fat piece of shit. No, it's not. You fucking ugly fat fuck.
I mean, it kind of is. Like, not.
It's normal in America, but so is fucking overdosing on goddamn fentanyl. I mean, like, you literally, if you think about it this way, people would think you were a monster if you went out, bought some heroin, or just say you do heroin in your free time. Nobody cares if you do heroin, or at least I don't. Some people think you're a bad person. I don't give a fuck if you do drugs. But I do think you're a bad person if you do this. You do drugs, your friend is trying to recover, and you're like, come on, man, just do it with me, do it with me, do it with me. Hey, man, fuck you. That dude's trying to better himself, and you're over here talking about yeah, just do the drugs with me. That is literally what all these fucking people try and do with food. Oh, come on, man, you can't starve yourself. Brother, I'm not starving myself. I'm eating like a normal fucking person. I'm eating healthy. You're the fat fucking pig eating everything in sight. And then you feel bad about yourself because I make you feel bad about yourself. So now you don't want to eat everything. You want me to eat everything in sight so you don't feel bad about yourself. How about go fuck yourself? You continue to be a fat pig and I won't.
I think some people do genuinely view it as they're like trying to be like when my mom tries to give me stuff, it's not like now she's a lot better, but I don't think she was ever like trying to make herself feel better about it.
I do think genuinely yes she is, because if you hear the way she talks about herself and then condescendingly talks about you, oh, you're too muscular, now you're all skinny, da da da, it's because she doesn't like the way she looks.
Yeah.
Is she doing it consciously? Maybe not. Maybe it's a subconscious thing, but yes, 100%.
But I feel like sometimes
I don't think she's a bad person for the way she does it, because she also isn't necessarily pushing it on you, trying to be like, you need to eat, da 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 da. I don't even necessarily think that people that do that are a bad person, but I do think they need to reframe the way they think and understand what they are doing. I would say most people feel bad about the way they look, and that's why they're pushing it on you. Because why do you care what I eat? Because if I was eating bad, You would never be like, most people who eat bad, right? You never hear a guy go, oh man, you probably shouldn't eat that. No, usually they don't give a fuck. But if I'm eating good, you're like, oh, here we go again with this. Oh, you always eating healthy. Because you feel bad when you look down at your fucking plate and you're eating all this fucking junk food and I'm eating healthy and you know you should be eating like me and you're not. And so then that's why you get comments like, if I had your discipline, oh, if I could just act like that, oh, if I could just do that. You can, bitch. You are no different than me.
So it's connected, I swear. I don't 100%, for me personally, believe in the like manifestation of staring in the mirror and being like, oh, I am loved, I am this or that. But I do think there is something to being like, oh, I just don't have your discipline, or oh, I just don't do that. There is, I would believe it so much more if they're just like, oh, I'm not there yet, or I'm working on it, or I'm trying to do that.
But they're not working.
Right, but they're not. So the second they're automatically like, oh, I just can't, then fuck off, because you're not trying.
Yeah, 100%. Most people are not trying. And most people who say they're trying aren't really trying. Because I tell you this, if you said you were trying your hardest, right? If you have children, and I said, I probably shouldn't say this on YouTube, but if I said I put a gun to your child's head and I'm gonna pull the fucking trigger, are you gonna try harder or not? I mean, you could bleep it, but it's the truth. It's the truth, though. Yeah. If I, and that's where you have to go sometimes. Not everybody. Not everybody's as crazy as I am. And I understand that because I'm pretty fucking crazy. But you don't have to necessarily be as crazy as I am. And you also don't necessarily have to take it to the extent that I take it. But at the end of the day, if you're going to say, oh, I'm trying my hardest, you got to really look yourself in the mirror and know if you're lying or not. Don't lie to yourself about it. If you say, yeah, I'm trying, I probably could try harder, but I don't care enough to try harder. But I'm doing a little bit. I've made some improvements. You're being honest. Cool. Ain't nobody said you had to be perfect. I couldn't give a fuck. I do not care if someone is fat and gross and eating fucking... You could eat so much food that you die at 35 due to fucking obesity-related issues. I wouldn't care at all. I genuinely don't give a fuck. But I do care when people lie. That shit pisses me off. Or when they try and pretend like I'm somehow gifted with an easier life than they are, or easier this or easier that. Bro, do you not understand? I'm probably the worst person you could probably say that to. My genetics are probably worse than most of theirs. Look at my family. Most of my family is women who are under 5 foot, over 250 pounds. I had high cholesterol at 11 years old. I weighed 200 pounds, under 5 foot, at 11 years old. Oh, but you were gifted with good genetics. All right. Ask the doctors if I got good genetics, motherfucker. Bet you they won't say yeah. But everybody want to think that it's because, oh, I was born this way or that way, or I struggle with this or that. No. Everybody struggles. You is no different than anybody else. Now, yeah, some people got to struggle a little harder. But that doesn't give you the excuse to not make it. Just because you got to work 10 times harder to get somewhere doesn't mean you can say that's your excuse for not making it. Because I will acknowledge, we could just start with I was born in America and say that I had an easier life. Yeah, there are people in this world who had a way harder life. But there are people who came from the actual bottom and made it pretty fucking far. So when you're fucking making excuses for why you suck, like your goddamn show Financial Audit that you love to fucking watch, or they want to make excuses where, well, I had to do this and I had to do that, and well, I mean, I had to go to Coachella and it cost $30,000. I just had to go. The fuck do you need to go for? You fucking entitled white bitch?
Some of the episodes, yeah. I mean, this is kind of off topic, I guess. Some of them, yeah, I can't watch anymore. Because if they're too far into the victim mindset, I'm like, okay, you're...
Dude, that's 90% of America. If you think about it, like, look at all of the shit. Like, I'll never forget when the jiu-jitsu coach told me, He was like, what is your reason for not having to work 70 hours a week? You have a better life than 90% of the world. And you complain, not me specifically,
For not.
but he was like, and people will complain that they have to work 70 hours a week to make a living. So what? Most countries don't have AC. There's plenty of countries that don't have running water.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the answer is most countries in the world do not have drinkable tap water. You cannot drink tap water in most countries in the world. Almost all of the United States has drinkable tap water. I'm pretty sure most countries don't have AC because even most of Europe doesn't have AC.
Yeah.
So even first world countries don't have fucking air conditioning. I mean, you're talking about making livable wage, but then you talk about having a car. I'm sorry, when did it become livable you have to have a car? And then their excuse is, well, you have to make it to work and I can't walk. Why can't you?
Or I can't take the bus, or I can't ride a $50 bike.
You can't ride a bike, you can't walk, and you can't take a bus. For what reason? You could say public transportation is not that great. You're right, public transportation, the infrastructure for public transportation is ass, and I think we need to improve on that in this country. But is your job more than an hour's walk away? If you walk, what's a good walking speed? Like a 10-minute mile?
Define good, because I
Well, that's like a
average
run,
21.
actually. Okay, a 20-minute mile. So what is that? Yeah, you'd have to be kind of close for an hour walk, actually. You'd have to be like 3 miles from your job. But what's a good bike? Probably half that, if not faster. You could probably do 10. You could probably do 10 miles on a bike in an hour. For a decent. I feel like that's probably realistic. I feel like within a 10-mile radius of a job, especially because I'm assuming you were talking about a minimum wage job. We're not talking about a high quality job. If you base it off of, I don't know, I just think saying a car, and also a car payment, because we're like, well, we can't have a cheap car. We can't do that. I don't understand this. There's too many things that are looked at as necessities. A car is not a necessity. That's a luxury. But everybody has one, so now it's a necessity. Owning your house. Owning a house is not a necessity. It's a luxury. Now, I'm not saying being homeless is, being in a home is a necessity, in my opinion. I do not think there should be any reason we have homeless people. Being housed is a necessity. Owning your home is not a necessity. That is a luxury. Owning a vehicle is a luxury.
I remember when I was nannying, one of the ladies that I worked with in the house, she rented the same car for months, and she was like, it's not a great car, but if anything goes wrong with it, it's not my responsibility until I find the one I want at the price I want. And she was like, I don't even remember. I think it ended up being like $200 a month, and she was like, it's cheaper than any car note I'll get right now. And so she was renting a car to get around because she didn't want to pay more to buy a car.
I won't go into the financial explanation on why the leasing a car is dumb as fuck, but that's okay. In my opinion, leasing a car is even stupider than just owning the car.
Like what?
She was leasing a vehicle
No,
at
she was like
$200 a month.
renting. Like it wasn't her car.
Oh, that's even worse. What do you mean?
I don't know, but she said it was cheaper for her.
I think you don't know what leasing is.
Isn't leasing like when you're making payments on a loan?
No.
What is leasing?
You can lease a vehicle from a dealership, which means renting a vehicle from a dealership.
No, I think she did it from like a place you like pick it up at by an airport.
She was genuine. How was she renting a car for $200?
I don't know. It was an older car. It was like a 2015 little
I don't
blue
even know
thing.
that it was possible to rent a car for that cheap.
I mean, maybe I misunderstood her, but she was like, there's no reason of me getting a car when this is cheaper.
That's still the same principle as leasing a vehicle.
Yeah.
Which, leasing a vehicle is stupid. Because you can, for sure, get a reliable car for under $200 a month. for your payment. For sure. Unless your credit is fucked. Either way, that's not the point. The point is, I think that too many things are looked at as a necessity when they are a luxury. I think DoorDash, everybody wants to fucking use DoorDash. That is a luxury,
That is a
dude.
luxury.
Eating out in the first place is a luxury. And what's funny is we all know it. We all know that one. We all know. You could argue with me all day that you think a house is a necessity. I mean, a house. Well, one, owning a house, yes, but also you think owning a house is a necessity, but also you think owning a vehicle is a necessity. You could argue that with me because people will say, well, distance and this and that. Everybody knows eating out is a luxury. There's no way you can tell me that eating out is a necessity because we all grew up. If you didn't grow up with the parents who said this, you know the fucking meme. Do you have McDonald's money? We all know that meme. We all know the cheap, not cheap, but the parents who grew up or the kids who grew up lower class or even in poverty, sometimes even in middle class, where your parents would say, do you have McDonald's money? We all know McDonald's and every other fucking eating out place is a luxury. And yet people want to fucking DoorDash every day. Yeah. And then they wonder why they have to work more than 40 hours to make a living. Hey man, you want to DoorDash, go work more hours. Also, working only 40 hours is a luxury. I think working only 40 hours is 100% a luxury.
Yeah, but then you get the argument of in Europe, don't they have less and don't they have more regular time off?
Would you want to live in Europe?
Probably not. Well, then you can get into the argument with other places where they don't even have a job and they have to like scavenge.
I guess it depends who you are, because I am in a point where I would not want to live in Europe because of the amount of money I make. However, I understand why if you are poor or like if you're working minimum wage, which again is a luxury. It's a luxury to work minimum wage, in my opinion. I think the minimum wage should be a livable wage. And that's what it should be stated as. It shouldn't even be minimum wage. It should be called livable wage.
Yeah.
This is the livable wage. But we need to define what a luxury is. Because being able to... This is going to sound weird when I phrase it this way, but living in a country where you have a law that makes it to where you have a forced livable wage is a luxury in itself. There are plenty of countries that they can pay their people whatever the fuck they want. Or slave labor. There are fucking children making iPhones for nothing.
Yeah.
Or pennies. You live in a country where there's a forced minimum wage that is supposed to be tied to a livable wage. I do think the federal minimum wage is too little because it isn't a livable wage. But I also think that some people are delusional when they say that a livable wage is fucking $80,000. No, the fuck it is not.
Yeah.
And if you say, well, I live in California, it's really expensive here. Hey,
move!
Did you hear that it's a luxury? Yeah, everybody hated Ben Shapiro when he said that. You should fucking move. I think he was talking about fucking Palestine, though, in some weird way or something.
Oh.
Well, he is a fucking Jew, so.
Alright.
Throwing some little anti-Semitism for you. Sprinkle it in there. But no, genuinely, though, if you live in California, in San Francisco, you live in one of the most, in New York City, you live in one of these expensive ass cities. That's a luxury, bro. It's a luxury. You can't just live there and not make enough money to live there. Move. Move to fucking Kansas. Move to Arkansas. Move to fucking South Dakota. Like, those places, one, they have fucking jobs. Let me tell you that. Because in South Dakota, go work the fucking the oil line that runs from, I think, but it's either between or through South Dakota, North Dakota, whatever. But go work the fucking oil line, and you'll make $150,000 a year, probably. I don't know the actual answer, but I'm just assuming. You'll make at least $100,000, I have to imagine. But probably like $150,000 a year in South Dakota, where the fucking expenses, the livable wage is probably like fucking $50,000. So you're making 3 times over livable wage. But it is a luxury to have a country, which I think we should have, because this is America and democracy and all those other things and whatever the fuck. But it is a luxury to have a country where they force corporations to pay you a specific amount. That specific amount needs to go up. I don't know what is livable. Maybe there's got to be at least probably $40,000 a year, maybe higher than that.
I think.
But some people are delusional when they say crazy shit like $100,000
Yeah,
or
I have
80
no
grand or
idea
70
what.
grand. It's like you're fucking genuinely tripping acid. But it probably is like maybe 40,000. Because right now the fucking minimum wage doesn't even. I would say you should probably make, I don't know, 40,000 is like $20 an hour or something like that. It's probably like 15 an hour though. It's probably like 30,000, and you probably need 2 jobs. But if they paid you 15 an hour, it's probably 15. That's probably what I would say. 30,000. Because then if you're working 40 hours a week, you could work two jobs where you work 40 hours a week at minimum wage, and you could make 60,000. And 60,000 is enough that I'm fairly confident you could live decently. Or you just have to work 2 jobs. And at 40 hours a week, a single person could live. So because if you have 2 families working 40 hours a week, or 2 people in the family working 40 hours a week, you're making 60,000. Off of 60,000, those 2 people can live. I don't know that they can have a child, but they can live.
But even then, if you have a child, then you get other benefits if you need them. So, which that might need to be adjusted if you were to raise minimum wage, actually. So I don't know.
I don't even want to get into my opinion on that.
We don't got time for that right now.
Because my opinion is that you should not be using my fucking money to pay for stupid shit like that.
Okay, well, now that you said it that way, you need to elaborate. Because I just said if you have a child, you get different benefits, and you said you shouldn't use my money to do that stupid shit. What stupid shit?
But I'm not fucking. I don't want to pay for people on welfare and food stamps and all this other bullshit, because there's too many ways to rig the system.
But
in my opinion, we've already talked about this. Let me explain this actually, because people are going to think that I'm just like, oh, I fucking hate people on welfare. No, I don't have a problem with the people on welfare. The problem is, 1, the system can be played too much, and 2, it's written in a way where it actually favors you not going to work. Because if you make above a certain amount of money, you lose your benefits, but the benefits are going to pay you more than what you would make if you didn't. So now people work under the table and take the benefits. What it should be is local organizations coming together to help people. That's what the church was about. Now, I'm not religious, but this part of the church does make sense. And also, most churches fucking suck at this for some reason.
yeah.
Like, you remember the story about the lady calling? They did it once for real, and then once was just people doing it to see what would happen. But the lady calling during like a crisis, and she was saying she needed fucking diapers, and the only place that helped her was a Muslim church. But she called like 5 Christian churches, nobody fucking helped her.
I think it's a mosque. But yeah, same concept.
But you're telling me that all these fucking Christian churches, they couldn't fucking diapers, like, you couldn't give her $20, dude? $20? There are probably people in there tithing 5 to 10% of their income. If you have 100 people in a church, there's probably at least 30 people tithing.
I will say the most working in the school, the most support was from churches, and it was for specific events coordinated with someone actively in the church. Even when we were going to church when we were younger, it was not some rando who needed help. It was a coordinated part of this organization that needs help is already in the church, and it's kind of just helping within the church. But if you were to broaden it to this is a community organization, then they should be able to help more random people.
That's exactly what a church is supposed to be. And we actually had a campus pastor when I was growing up that left the church and founded his own church, and he literally every week, if not multiple times a week at this point, every week they went out and they went into the community and they just did a thing. Every single week they just did a thing, whatever it was. This building needs to be painted it. Whatever the fuck it was, just went out, did it. We need to do a food drive, did it. Whatever the community needed, they did. If you had, look at all these churches. You drive down a street, there's fucking 10 churches on one street. If 10 churches went out and did an event once a week, you would have multiple things happening every day.
Yeah.
It takes 7 churches in your community to do something once a week, and all of a sudden you have an event ran every single day. That is how it should be ran. It shouldn't be the government taking your money and then allocating these funds to people. Why? Because those things get scammed. Because it's too big and nobody knows what the fuck is going on and who really needs help. If you did it at a local level, oh, this mother, the husband just died. Because there are real situations where people really need help. This husband was working fucking 70 hours a week, working his ass off, so the mom didn't have to work. The mom hasn't worked in fucking 7 years, and she's got a 7-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a newborn at home, and the fucking dad just got hit and killed in a car accident. Yeah, that lady needs help. But guess what? It's going to take some time before the government even fucking steps in and helps her.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's going to have to prove that her husband just died and that she needs fucking help. And then when they do help, it's really not going to do that much for her. Versus you do it through the community and we all know, oh, she needs help. Now you got people bringing you food. You got people giving you, instead of the 10% going to the church for a little bit, okay, we're going to allocate all those funds you've been giving us. We just need enough to keep the church running. Everything else is going to her for the next couple months while she gets on her feet. She needs a place to stay. All right, someone has a rental property that is vacant. Oh, well, you can stay in here for free. Like, that is how it should be ran. Not fucking big government fucking coming in and fucking everything up. And that's why I say, no, I don't want you using my money for this fucking stupid shit. Because you suck at using my money. The government is ass at using my money. If you don't believe me, why is our biggest fucking budget the defense budget? And we're over here sending fucking $1 million missiles that are getting dropped by fucking paper airplanes. Fucking dumbasses. Well, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You're only 25. Motherfucker, I build the shit. I'm the one building them. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Okay, good. You don't want to say too much about your job because we don't know.
I build the shit. That's all they need to know. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. The government is retarded. I build the shit, and I know they're retarded. Fucking waste everywhere. Then they wonder why the fuck. I mean, you wonder why government contractors and shit are always mad about fucking taxes. Because you look to your... I don't think this one's making it to YouTube.
Oh, it definitely is.
Alright, that's all I got. I don't even know how it got there.